We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and the others too.
In a world filled with chaos where the dreamers struggle to find their way, there is a light. In an industry riddled with sacrifice and self-doubt, there is a voice. At a time when we need one another more than ever, there is hope. Houston, we have a program.
I told you I wasn't ready for love right now. Standing stronger, standing taller when facing the world alone. It wasn't supposed to be now, but I let you in and now there's no way out of this love that I'm feeling for you. Oh, it's love. Oh, it's love. Oh, it's love. Just wanna sing out to everybody that I'm in love with you. I guess I told you that love wouldn't conquer anything at all. My heart's been broken, really broken so many times before. Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be now, but I let you in and now there's no way out of this love that I'm feeling for you. Oh, it's love. Oh, it's love. Oh, it's love. Just wanna sing out to everybody that I'm in love with you. So please don't go and change anything about yourself. And don't you mind a thing what they may say about you. 'Cause I love every single detail about you. Whoa, yeah, I love you with every single beat of my heart. You're right there. Oh, it's love. Oh, it's love. Oh, it's love. Just wanna sing out to everybody that I'm in love with you. Oh, it's love. It's love.
Welcome to Houston. Sorry, I didn't mean to be yelling. I'm just so excited today. So we are so overwhelmed and grateful that you are here joining us on Houston, exclusively on Seattle Wave Radio. Today's guest on Houston is singer-songwriter Camilla Moberg. Camilla is a folk pop artist currently residing in the beautiful country of Denmark. Camilla writes music that is inspired by love and muses about things in her own life and the people closest to her. And she has a new EP coming out called It's Love. And funny enough, the song that the show started with, you got to hear that beautiful song we just came back from. That was It's Love. That's the title track from her new EP. So please, all of you Houstonites, all of you crazed people out there in the world, put your hands together and help me in joining the beautiful, talented, soul-inspiring Camilla Moberg to Houston. Camilla.
Yeah.
How are you?
Very good. Thank you. How are you?
We're doing great. We're, as you know, the rest of the world can't see us, because the format we use is Squadcast, so we can all see each other. I feel bad for you, but of course this audio is being recorded, and it is what, 11 o'clock at night over there?
Yeah.
So what do the Danes do at 11 o'clock at night? Is this like right now? Like, so, you know, you take a nap, you eat your food about 11 o'clock, 11:30. That's when you go out and start partying, dancing, going crazy.
Yeah, normally we do, but it's all closed down because of the situation. So, but yeah.
Well, I heard that, so in the news, you know, I mean, who knows what you hear in the news, but I heard in the news, though, that Denmark is opening back up. Is that true, or is it just happening slowly?
Yeah, it's opening up slowly. So you still have to be like a little crowd together. So it's up to 10 people and keep the distance all the time. But it's kind of a balance because it's all opening up again. So
sure. Well, how have you and your family been dealing with the COVID crisis? What have you been doing to keep yourself busy? Well, of course, besides releasing an EP.
Yeah, well, we've just been relaxing. I think they're taking it pretty cool. Nobody's lost their job, and just taking the precautions like everybody else. And yeah, I can stay at home, and I like that. So.
Excellent. So what do you do when you're at home? I know you said relaxing. I don't want to ask the same question, but is there a favorite television show or podcast or music, or what do you do? I mean, what's the daily life of Camilla like during COVID crisis?
I have like a park outside. I can go out there. There's not too many people right now. And then I watch Westworld. The last season is very good, I think.
Wait a minute. When you said you liked Westworld, I looked down. I saw Cracky smile. Are you a Westworld fan, Cracky?
No, I'm not.
Well,
I just like smiling.
You just like smiling. What's a good thing? Well, if I may jump in and say that you should definitely check out Westworld. Jessica, maybe it's a Danish thing. I don't know. Jessica, my wife, by the way, Camilla, I think you know this. I'm married to a Dane. I love the Danes. They're great people. There's only one thing about the Danish that I don't like. And it's not really the Danish people. It's the La Viente. I'm not a big fan of that. But that's just something that's for another show. That's for another show. Cracky, you got to watch that show. It's a great thing. Yeah, I do. So before we get to your music, I was very interested to find out because a mutual friend of ours, Karen Sangvin, introduced us, which I am forever grateful because I'm a fan of your music, Camilla. You've got a beautiful voice, and you're definitely a storyteller in your songs. And anyway, so that being aside, I was really surprised to see that you had another huge thing that you've done in your life, which was you were a soccer player.
Yeah, I played soccer for many years, from I was about 9 years old. So I played with the guys for many years. And then, yeah. So
Well,
I was center midfield.
You were a center midfield?
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I ran a lot.
Yeah, you ran a lot. You must have some good ball handling skills as well, because I mean, you're in the center of the field that you're controlling a lot of the offense, right?
Yeah, I had to do that.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of soccer. Years ago, I used to, probably like a good amount of Americans in the past, I'd watch soccer and I'd think, okay, it looks like a bunch of guys or girls just kicking the ball on the field. I didn't get the strategy. And then my son started playing soccer, and going to practices and watching them run the drills up and down the field. And then, of course, years ago, I was fortunate enough to be good friends with a guy named Keith Weller, who was a coach, played in England for years. Matter of fact, he got the goal of the decade once. But watched him play and learned about it. And soccer is there's a lot of strategy. And one thing about that is there's no commercial breaks. So you got to be in real good shape.
Yeah, I was. Now I'm not. Anyway.
Well, and I think that, people might be going, okay, what does soccer have to do with music? Well, besides getting to know you, something that happened while you were playing soccer kind of pushed you more towards music. And correct me if I'm wrong, but basically, it's probably better if you tell the story yourself. But can you talk about the illness that kind of prevented you from playing soccer anymore? I think it was called Hashimoto.
Yeah, that's correct.
Why don't you tell us about that? Kind of what went down there?
Well, I was about 19 years old, and I got this autoimmune disease. And it's a disease that kind of attacks the thyroid. So you can't produce enough hormones. And that meant for me that I gained a lot of weight and got depressions and other health issues. So I couldn't play at that level anymore. And I had to give up playing. So, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, it's sounds like you're doing a lot better now. That's a lot of stuff to deal with.
Yeah, well, it's about 20 years now since I had to stop and trying to find my way back into life. So music came my way and helped me a lot getting back.
So it was kind of your therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, were you doing music while you were playing soccer as well, or was music something that came after?
No, I have always been writing music, but I didn't do anything about it. So it was just about 3.5 years ago that I took the chance and just went out playing my music. Yeah.
Well, you say 3.5 years ago you took the chance. Normally, when things like that happen, something had to make it. Something normally happens in our lives that bring that to the forefront. Was there a particular event or experience that happened? Were you at a club, you heard some music and were inspired to do it? Or, I mean, was there one particular thing that kind of got you to go, okay, I'm going to do this?
Yeah, I took this course called Life Mastery Master, where you had to look deep down inside of you and find out what you want to do with your life. And for me, it was a life turning point. And I woke up and it gave me self-esteem to go back out into the world and taking a risk and putting myself out there again. So and this time through music. So
nice. And so it was called Life Mastery Program?
Yes.
Nice. And was that in Denmark, or did you have to travel somewhere?
No, it was in Copenhagen. So
I love Copenhagen. There is obviously with the Danish wife, I've been back there a few times. Was there last summer, I believe. We went on or maybe it was the summer before. We've toured over there a couple different times. But there's a place called the Mouse and Elephant in Copenhagen. and it's a super cool bar. You walking up the cobble streets, you go down these stairs and you go in, and then there's stairs that wind up, and you can smoke cigars in there. It's cool. The Mouse and Elephant. Well, cool. Well, I'm happy that you. I'm happy. I'm sorry that it took getting an illness to change course in your life, but that's as you've discovered, right? Things happen for reasons, right? And you're. I'm happy to see that you're maybe not reasons we understand at the time, but things that allow us to take a different journey and continue our journey and look back, and maybe when you're doing music, do you pull from experiences as a soccer player? Are there things that when you were a soccer player, because you were playing at a high level, that you're able to bring to music that help you in music?
No, because I was very ambitious with soccer, and because of my disease, I can't be ambitious anymore in that level because it gives me stress and so forth. So it's not doing anything good with my disease. So I had to learn to have fun.
Well, there you go. That's wow, that's powerful. I'm just trying to wrap my head around that. That's basically me. I don't want to overdo it here, but it sounds like to me that music was kind of it was a not just a big deal, but it was a lifesaver.
Yeah, absolutely. It started a wave of love and love to life and love to others and myself with my disease. So, yeah. Wow.
Okay. Yeah. You almost got me kind of speechless there. That's a powerful thing. When we're done interviewing you, I'm going to go back and listen to your music again, because I bet, I mean, there's a lot of soul in your music, and you can really tell, we've obviously interviewed different people, and you hear there's so much music out there, and there's a lot of well-produced music with zero soul. And you know what I mean? It just sounds like cookie cutter. And when you listen to your music, there's definitely a lot of emotion behind each word, a lot of intention. And this would explain it. Well, anyway, I think it's fantastic that you have an alternative way to heal yourself, not just with medicine, right, or changes of lifestyle or whatever, because music is supposed to be something that is relaxing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, it was out of love that this EP emerged. So it means a lot to me, and to pay it forward, just being happy and enjoy life.
Excellent. And that's and here we go. I mean, what a great segue. Here we are now with you releasing your EP called It's Love. And so is that essentially why this EP is called It's Love? Because it's about the love. It's about this transformation that has been so healing for you.
Yeah, absolutely. After the program, I was just filled with love, and the one song after the other just came out. So it has been 3 years, very intense of love.
Nice. Well, and when you talk about the songs that are in your EP, of course, there's the title track, It's Love, Summertime, In and Out of Love, Follow You, and Love the Way You Feel. Those words now have a different meaning to me based on everything you've just said from before we prepared for this show. So it's beautiful. Is this, how many releases have you had before this EP, or is this your first?
No, I have about, I think it's 5, but it's in Danish. So this is my first English, first English one. So
interesting. Cracky, have you ever heard popular music sung in Danish before?
I did, only because I was looking at some of her old stuff I found online, and so yeah, it's funny. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes you can, even without understanding the language, you can pick up on the emotion of a song, what's being said. And then other times I'm just lost, but hey, the music's still cool. So but yeah, I like branching out and listening to music in languages I don't understand sometimes. Just keeps it kind of interesting. And
Nice.
She was talking about the title track, It's Love. There's a preview of the video on her website that I was looking at. And for all the people who are still socially isolating, it's a nice little happy video there showing people get together, just kind of hanging out and kissing and cuddling and all that stuff that a lot of us don't have the opportunity to do right now. So it gives you a little hope that, hey, that stuff is still out there. It's around the corner. Keep doing the right stuff, and we'll be all right back to that real soon.
Cool. Very cool. Did you, when you were producing that music video, Camilla, did you, how long before COVID was that? Or was it inspired by what's going on in the world today?
Actually, it was Karen who made the video. So, but it was under COVID. So it's last week, I think. So it's, yeah.
Nice. Well, what beautiful sentiment. I'm happy you shared that with us, Cracky. You know, it's interesting. So I lived in Germany from 1986 to 1990. And I wish my German was better. I mean, it's okay, but a lot of my German friends wanted to speak English. They wanted to practice all the time. And, but I know that it's interesting because there's two things I remember after hearing Cracky say that when he was listening to your Danish songs, Camilla. There's two things that always do a really good job of bringing people together from wherever they are. And I learned that in 1987 in Munich at the Oktoberfest. And there was two things that were going on at that Oktoberfest in particular that really allowed us all to communicate. There was Germans, French, Luxembourgians. There was Polish people. There was Russians, Ukraine. I mean, you name it. And once the beer started flowing and once the music started playing, it was one of the most, to this day, and that was a long time ago, to this day, one of the most eye-opening experiences of my life, because none of us could really communicate, but there was music going on, which brought smiles to people's faces, and there was beer flowing. And all of a sudden we all understood each other. Maybe not all the time, but anyhow.
The two universal languages.
Exactly. So maybe that's what you need to do, Camilla. Maybe when when this whole COVID thing is kind of, the social distancing thing has kind of parted ways with us, if you will. You have a party and, serve beer and music and invite people like from everywhere that have to speak different languages and run some sort of an experiment, or maybe not. Maybe just invite Mark, Cracky, and I.
I'm definitely in.
Well, I'm planning to do a post-release party of the EP on a bar. Maybe that you named earlier, something with the elephant.
Yeah, the Mouse and Elephant. It is a really cool place, Camilla. Seriously, it's kind of like going back when you go into this place, it's like going back into time. And get this, I'm sorry, I know we want to focus in your music, but at this bar, on the right-hand side of the bar, there is, and for the PETA people out there, it's not a real elephant head, but it's like this ceramic elephant head, and it's got tusks, and you put your beer glass under the trunk of the elephant, and you pull the tusk down, and beer comes out. It is cool.
I think you're making this up.
I'm not making it up. I am not making it up. Matter of fact, Camilla, because you're in Copenhagen, right?
Yes.
So, because I know that you're going to probably go try to find this place now. Do me a favor. When you go there, please take a picture of that and send it to me, and we'll put it up on the Houston page so I can prove that Cracky was wrong.
Shall do. Yes, I will do that.
Nice.
You know where it's located?
It's just in the heart of Copenhagen.
Okay.
Downtown, in the city. I don't remember exactly where, but
okay.
That's exciting. I mean, you've got to be excited that you've got an EP, and Now, when are you, because I know that a lot of times releases are different. There's a soft release and a hard release. When are you officially releasing the EP to the world?
Today.
Today?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, congratulations. And you're with us?
Yeah.
Aww.
We have to stay inside.
Oh, true. And just so that we don't confuse people who are listening, this interview is it's being done live, but it's being pre-taped. So when you hear this, it'll have been released a week ago, but please go out there and get online and check it out. Camilla Moberg, It's Love. I promise you're going to love it. Check her out. Where can people, seeing that we're talking about your EP, where's the best place for people to find out about your release and everything?
Spotify or on my website, camillamoberg.com.
Nice. Yeah. Excellent. Are you excited?
Yes, I have been excited all day, but now it's very late, so I'm kind of exhausted.
And now you're like, and I've got to talk to these 3 Americans, and this guy keeps going on. So I could not think of a better time to play another one of your songs. What do you think?
Sounds great.
Sounds good. So why don't you do this? Why don't you join in here and set up Summertime? The song we're going to listen now is Summertime, and it's off of Camilla Moberg's newest release on May 8th of It's Love. This is called Summertime. Camilla, why don't you tell us what the song is about, and then we'll go ahead and listen to it.
Well, it's a feel-good song, and it's about a summer holiday I went on a few years ago, and I wanted to go swimming in the ocean with my partner, but I hate swimming in the ocean, so I couldn't do it, and I was very sad about that. So I went home to the beach house and I wrote this song, Summertime. And the beautiful thing about the songs is that you can do anything in a song. So in this song, I go swimming in the ocean with my loved one. So that's it.
Beautiful. What a great setup and just a great story behind the song. Without further ado, let's go to Camilla Moberg's song off of her EP, It's Love. This is called Summertime. And if you need any reminding, you are listening to Houston on Seattle Wave Radio with your host, Raymond Hayden, and my esteemed co-host, Mr.
Cracky Mule Train.
We'll be right back.
Summertime is here. I'm taking off my shoes and I'm feeling the ground right underneath my feet, and I just wanna go, yeah, wherever you
Hey, this is Travis Larson, and you're listening to Houston on Seattle Wave Radio. Oh, by the way, the music is provided by Travis Larson Band, and I'm sure you have better things to do with your time than listen to the show, but charity is always accepted.
And welcome back to Houston on Seattle Wave Radio. That was a beautiful song, Camilla.
I have a question about that song, because I was, again, as a music fan, when I'm checking out new artists, this has come up on our shows before. I like people that have a really good social media presence. And Camilla's got some great YouTube videos out there, including one for the song that we just heard. And it looks like it was filmed near an island, maybe. Is that where you were actually on holiday when you wrote the song? Or did you do the video in a different location?
I did the video on a different location. It was about 1 week after I wrote the song. I was on this island, and I asked my friend to play the ukulele with me and make a live video. And I used this video to summertime release.
Yeah, it's a great video. Definitely check it out. And it looks like a beautiful island. I'm convinced now that I need to visit Denmark. Is that true?
Yes.
All right. Why should I visit Denmark?
Well, we are friendly people in Denmark, and we just have a lot of fun and drink a lot of beers. So,
all right. I would agree with that. I know you didn't ask me, Cracky, but Camilla's right. The Danish people they're fun. They're easygoing. They're just fun. I mean, I've been to Denmark over the past 7 years, 3 times, and just love the Danish people. And so I'm just going to throw this out there. So Cracky, next year, I think next May, so a year from now, Jessica is in the planning process right now of another 2-week tour in Denmark. Obviously playing in different places throughout Denmark, maybe in Germany, maybe as far as Austria. There's some requests down there, and so if we go to Denmark next year, like for a couple of weeks, I mean, you want to come? Hey, all you gotta do is get yourself a plane ticket. You know, when we're living in Denmark, Jessica's family is all around Copenhagen, and having a place to stay is no problem. We could actually get a chance to meet Camilla in person and have that beer that we talked about.
I was just going to say, I'm only going to go if Camilla is the opening act for Jessica Lynn.
Oh, look at this. Yeah. Okay. Here you have it, live on Houston, Seattle Wave Radio. Cracky's first time ever jumping into the managerial role for an artist. Well, looks like you're saddled with the manager now, Camilla.
Sounds great. We can meet at the Mouse and the Elephant.
Ah, look at the way you turned that around. There we go. Excellent. All right. Hey, Mark, why don't you undo your microphone? Let's bring Mark from Seattle Wave Radio into the conversation real quick.
Yes, Ray.
Hey, Mark. So, obviously, you know, like I said in the intro, or when we were talking, how big of a supporter you and Linda, owners of Seattle Wave Radio, are. How many? Do you guys have many international artists that play on your radio station?
Wow, that's a great question, and the honest answer is no. And here's why. I would love to have an international channel, but it would take another big staff to go through all the music. And here's what's interesting. And for all of the local artists out there that are missing being on Seattle Wave Radio, I have more international requests for playing their music and who listen to Seattle Wave Radio than here locally. Now, why is that? They love our music. I am not kidding you. I get more. I probably get more from the UK than you can possibly count on one hand a day. I'm serious. They, and I'll email them back and I'll say, okay, how did you find us? And they said, well, we looked for, and this is honest truth. They say, well, we were looking for some of the most popular radio stations that are playing online internationally, and you guys came up first. So all you local people out there, all the local artists, if you want to be heard internationally, then you need to get a hold of us because they're listening. The UK in particular loves Seattle artists. They love the trends in the music. They're listening and they're copying and they want to be in on it.
And I think for the artists on the show here too, when they're doing these release parties and some of these shows, live streaming is really starting to take off now while everybody's socially distancing and isolating. So when Camilla has her official record release party, when everybody can go back out and play again, maybe a live stream for all her new international fans would be.
Yeah. You should do that, Camilla. See, your manager, Cracky, he's already got you, doing a co-bill with Jessica Lynn, a Nashville country recording artist. And now he's already talking about I'm telling you, I see something happening here.
And
we'll talk about this at a different time.
Yeah. Well, Ray, just a second here, because I do have, because I want to qualify what I was saying about no international artists. I do have a few. And the reason why I do have a few is because they have a connection to the Seattle area and the Pacific Northwest. And there is, out of the UK, there is one group whose music is always played at the Seahawks and the Sounders games. So,
really?
Yeah. So their music is on. Nice. Now, Camilla, since she has a connection now with Seattle Wave Radio, I can put her music up and see then.
Yay!
That's, and that's kind of how I do it for the international artists right now. I go, do you have a connection with the Pacific Northwest? Have you ever played here? Or do you have a band that you hang out with when they're touring over in Europe and that sort of thing? And then I'll put their music up.
Nice. Well, okay. There you go, Camilla. There you go. And here's another first. I just realized out of almost 200 podcasts I've done, I've never interviewed somebody overseas before. So Camilla, you're my first international interview, and also my first Danish. And sounds like you're going to be the first Dane to be playing on Seattle Wave Radio, which is badass.
Yep.
So
she will.
I'll say it for you, Camilla. Mark, Elskadai.
Oh, all right.
He has no idea what I just said. I just said I love.
And that's absolutely true. I have not a clue, but I'm thinking that it said, "You're so awesome, Seattle Wave Radio. Thank you."
Yeah,
that was it. Okay.
That's what I was going to say. Cracky was just about ready to interject there. Okay, real quick. So, Camilla, all right, now we got to make you think. I know it's late over there, but this is what I like to call the Houston Lightning Fast Question Round. Absolutely. The only rule is no thinking. You have to turn your brain off. Okay. Okay, cool. I see you did that thing where you put your hand in front of your face so you're not thinking. Are you ready? And favorite color?
Blue.
Nice. That's my favorite color too. Yeah. Favorite food?
Ribs.
Ooh, baby back or what?
I don't know. Barbecue.
Barbecue ribs. There you go. Favorite soccer team?
Oh, I don't have any.
You don't? Okay. Mine's Manchester United. But favorite things about living in Denmark?
I think that is our welfare system.
How your government takes care of its people, right?
Yes.
Excellent. That is a beautiful thing. If you were an animal, which animal would you be?
Oh, I would be a cat.
Why would you be a cat?
Because it just lay there all day and just looks out the window. I would love that.
Musings. Cake or ice cream?
Oh, ice cream, definitely.
There you go. What kind of ice cream?
Oh, every ice cream.
Every ice cream, yeah. That's probably what Cracky was thinking right there. Yeah. Is there a favorite? Okay, last question. Favorite band or artist? And I know that's hard, but do you have one?
Oh, I have two.
Cool.
Brandy Carlisle and Jason Mraz.
Oh, yeah. Wow. And two totally different kind of directions. Interesting. You know how it's a small world. Thank you, by the way. You did very good. That's just kind of a fun little way to get people to kind of get to know you as a person as well. You know, all the things you like and stuff. So, Brandy Carlisle's, her guitar tech is a good friend of ours. And matter of fact, he is the same guy that sets up Jessica's guitars. His name is Ernie Bailey. Super, super nice guy. And he lives here locally. So
when Camilla comes to the U.S. to tour, I'll make sure that she gets hooked up with the same guy.
Absolutely. And so I think I'm going to change your name to Mr. Manager now. All right, Camilla, do you have another maybe 5-10 minutes in you? You take a deep breath, or are you about ready to fall asleep?
No, it's okay.
You're okay. Okay, cool. All right. So here's a deep question, but and I know that, we've heard your story and, how music has really transformed you and really kind of been a lifesaver and really brought you to where you are now. But is it a choice for you to get up every day doing music, or is it in your blood? Is this something that you live and breathe?
I think it's in my blood from my father. So, yeah.
Cool. Was your dad a singer-songwriter as well? Tell us about your dad.
Well, he had it as a hobby. I played a lot of at bars with beers and having fun.
Excellent.
Yeah.
See, there it comes back to what we said earlier. Music and beer.
Yeah.
There you go. If Cracky was going to put an album out, I think that's what it would be called. Music and beer. What else?
That pretty much sums up life right there.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. That's why you got to come to Denmark with us next year. What would surprise people about you, do you think? That people may not know from your social media presence and from your website, beyond the fact that you used to play soccer and you're now a musician. What is something that would surprise most people about you?
That I have a disease, I think.
And what element? The fact that you have a disease because you don't focus on that, and it's something that people probably wouldn't recognize.
Yeah, I don't talk about it. I don't want it to be like a topic. So, and I'm very social and outgoing, and so I think I hide it very well. Yeah.
Or maybe you choose to focus on the positive, right? And I think that's beautiful. And I know we've asked you a few times, we've talked about in the discussion, but I think today's a little different because as an artist, if people can gain some insight into who you are and where your music is coming from, I think they're going to fall in love with you and you're going to connect with them. There's a lot of people out there. There's so many people suffering from something, whether it's, Hashimoto or depression or alcoholism or something, or just, am I good enough for my mom and dad? Am I good? I mean, anything. So I really appreciate you taking the time and talking about something that you normally don't talk about so that our listeners, your new fans, can see where you're coming from. And so when they hear your music and see you performing, they see nothing but positive. And they're like, wow, if this person can turn their situation around, then there's hope for me. So thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Cracky, you want to say something?
I always want to say something.
Go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
No, I got another question. I'm going to go back to her music. Again, checking out some of the videos. You guys were talking about the crazy elephant. That's the name of the bar, right?
Mouse and elephant.
Elefante Loco.
Jesus Christ.
No, but there's a video that she did, Let's Dance All Night, right? Awesome tune, filmed in a bar, it looks like, or a bar or a restaurant. Where was that video? And are you going to take us there when we come to Denmark?
Yeah, it's at the bar called The Coin. And it's a local bar with singer-songwriter nights. So you can play with your guitar at that place.
All right. So I'm going to bring my guitar too that night. And if you guys buy me enough Carlsberg, I think you might get me up on the stage there.
Well, funny enough, the Carlsberg manufacturer or bottling plant is there in Copenhagen, right? Or is it right outside?
It's Carlsberg.
In Carlsberg, yeah. Because when I was, God, I'm an idiot. When I was visiting Denmark a couple years ago, I went there, and it's great. You know, you pay a little bit of money, and they take you on a tour and give you a little bit of a taste. And I'm not normally a Pilsner guy, but boy, I tell you what, the Danish know how to make beer.
Yeah, it looks like a really cool little pub as well. So we're putting that on the list, whether you like it or not, Ray.
All right. Well, you ain't got to twist my arm. Sounds like we're making a trip to Denmark. Well, I know we are next year, so you just got to buy a plane ticket and you'll be there. So, Camilla, this isn't one of the questions I asked, but it gets to know you. Are you a beer gal, or are you whiskey or wine, or what's your drink?
Well,
putting you on a spot.
Beer and cognac.
Ah. At the same time, or?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Okay. If that's the case, I'm gonna put a tracker on us when we get there so we don't get lost. Anyhow, we're having fun, and that's great. Like I said, it's your music is super great, and so your release is coming out. It's out, and you're gonna put that out, etc. What's next for you? What are you? What are your plans? Are your plans just to enjoy the release now and then worry about that later, or do you have some plans?
Well, first I have to sleep, and then I have some plans about a post-release and maybe a small tour, maybe to the US with Cracky as my manager.
Yes.
So I always wanted to go to America and do something like that.
Well, I can tell you that with between the four of us and Jessica and on our network here in the Pacific Northwest, if you come here and you want to do shows, we'll help you. You have a place to stay, so you don't have to worry about paying for room and board, because we'll take care of you. We'll put you up. You'll have your own room. We've got a band room, so if you want to jam or collaborate, we have a little party. Invite some other musicians over. Screw it, we'll throw a house party and invite 30 people at $20 a head. Make you $500-$600.
Sounds great.
Cool.
That's a deal.
That's it.
Have you been to the States before?
I have been. I was living actually in San Francisco for 3 months, doing an education program. So, and then I have been to San Diego, Los Angeles, and yeah, that's it.
All right. What do you think? Did you like it?
I like it a lot. I have always been dreaming of immigrating to the United States, and I would have if I hadn't gotten that disease. I was trying to play college football over there, so yeah.
Well, now it's just going to be something else. It's going to be music. I mean, you're talking to international recording podcast hosts Raymond Hayden and Cracky Mule Train right here, and of course Mark from Seattle Wave Radio. Hey, and here, just another aside. Not only is my wife Danish, but one of my closest friends, Circa Cherokee, who is like my little sister, was on Danish X Factor, and she's one of my dearest friends, and she lives here. You got a whole Danish community. You wouldn't even have to speak English if you didn't want to.
Great.
Exactly. So, anyway, Camilla, we really appreciate you being on the show today. It's been an absolute pleasure to get to know you. Why don't you remind us again and all of your new fans on Seattle Wave Radio the best ways to find out what you're doing?
Well, go to my website, camillamoberg.com, and there's a link to all my social media and music, and a little bio in Danish. Maybe I should work on that. So.
Well, funny enough, when I went to your website, a button popped up that said Google Translate, and you're able to translate it right on the spot.
Okay.
It'd probably be easier if you put it in English, of course. Yeah, you want to make it easy for people, but cool. And is your music up on the normal things like Spotify, Bandcamp, iTunes, all that?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, if you will bear with just for another couple minutes, 2 really important questions that I'd like to ask you before we leave today, if that's cool with you. If you had one piece of advice for up and coming artists like yourself, young, old, in between anything, what would that advice be?
Well, I think have fun and follow your heart all the way.
Great. Can't think of anything better than that. Fun and have fun all the way. Why else would you be doing it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, last question. What do you as an artist and a woman want us and our audience to know about the Danish people?
Okay, back to drinking. So,
oh God, here we go.
I think we're just like enjoying ourselves and drink beers and not taking life so seriously.
I love it. All right, Cracky, I'm going to give you the last word.
No, I love the fun part the most. She's in it for the right reason. You have a lot of people I know who get into music who just are so obsessed with trying to make it big. And I think sometimes they lose sight of, what drew them to music first as a fan or as an artist, to have fun. And when I see an artist or a band who I can tell is having fun with the music, those are always the best shows and the artists that I want to see and listen to over and over again. So I loved hearing that.
Excellent. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you for joining us with our guest, Camilla Moberg, all the way from Denmark. Today on Houston, exclusively on Seattle Wave Radio, it was our distinct pleasure to hear all about Camilla's new EP, It's Love. You got to hear a couple songs. We're going to take you out today with another song from her EP. This is called Love the Way You Feel. Catch you on the next Houston episode.
Under just feels right.
Thank you for tuning in to Houston on Seattle Wave Radio. Keep an eye out for our next mission where we interview and unveil behind-the-scenes aspects of some of your favorite artists. Houston, Seattle Wave Radio base here. Our podcast has landed.